Good morning. Welcome to our moment of praise and prayer today on Wednesday, 11 o'clock. I want to take a moment just before we start to remind you this coming Sunday is Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday of our Lord Jesus Christ. And so we want to remind you about our services online, which will be 10 o'clock Sunday morning. Also at 8 o'clock that same morning, Joe McNeil and his family will be bringing a special and some songs, and then Joe will be bringing a short devotional. I hope you'll tune in with us Sunday morning at 8 o'clock for our sunrise service, and then 10 o'clock for a regularly scheduled time of praise and worship and reflection. You know, in days like these, we need faith, we need hope, we need courage. We need God to be the anchor of our life. I believe that God is either going to deliver us out of the storms that we sometimes face, or he'll deliver us in the storm and through the storm. And maybe we don't know the outcome, but we know God is with us and he will never fail us. This song I'm going to begin with before we read from the Psalms, chapter 18. This song is called Give Me Faith. Give me faith to trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I'm broken inside, I give you my life. And I may be weak, your spirit's strong in me. My flesh may fail, my God, you never will. I may be weak, your spirit's strong in me. My flesh may fail, my God, you never will. Give me faith to trust what you say, and that you're good, your love is great. I'm broken inside, I give you my life. We need that kind of faith, don't we? That each and every day, God, our great shepherd, is walking with us. Sometimes he's out in front leading the way. Sometimes he's walking beside of us hand in hand. And at other times he's carrying us. But our God is near, and he will not disappoint. I want to read for a moment a couple verses from Psalm 18. Psalm 18 is really a long chapter in the book of Psalms. It is really, there's only 3 other Psalms that are longer than it. And even the heading, the introduction, there's only one other introduction that is actually longer, and it's in chapter 60 of the book of Psalms. So let me read a few verses from the book of Psalm chapter 18. Let me start with the heading or the introduction. To the choir master, a psalm of David, the servant of the Lord, who addressed the words of his song to the Lord, that the day when the Lord delivered him from the hand of all of his enemies and from the hand of Saul. He said, in verse 1, I love you, Lord, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my rock in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised, and I am saved from my enemies. The cords of death encompassed me. The torrents of destruction assailed me. The cords of Sheol entangled me. The snares of death confronted me. In my distress, I called upon the Lord. To my God, I cried for help. And from his temple, he heard my voice, and my cry to him reached his ears. We find that David, multiple times in his life, but in this psalm, gives an example of him calling out to God. And then we find him a few verses later crying out to God, pouring out his heart to God, something much deeper, maybe in agony, maybe in great despair. And then we find that God hears his prayers, and he's comforted in that way. One of the Christian writers, Thomas Merton, shared some of these thoughts about prayer. He says, prayer is inspired by God in the depth of our own nothingness. It is the movement of trust, of gratitude, of adoration, or of sorrow that places us before God, seeing both him and ourselves in the light of his infinite truth, and moves us to ask him for mercy, the spiritual strength, the material help that we all need. The man whose prayer is so pure that he never asks God for anything does not know who God is, and does not know who he is himself, for he does not know his own need for God. Today we have a great need for God. We have a continuous need for God. Jesus himself in the garden before his crucifixion cried out, Father, if it be thy will, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but thine be done. Today, let's have faith that God will carry us. God will show us the way. He'll deliver us from the storms of our life, or even in the storms of our life. He'll give us strength. And we can all pray, Father, not my will, but thine be done. Take today to give God thanks. Take today to petition him for all those things that are heavy on your heart and your mind. And God will not disappoint. And also next week as we come back at 11 o'clock at our prayer time, I'll be taking a moment to go over some of the different types of prayers we find in the Bible. God bless and have a wonderful day.